Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we're doing a Red Eyes Black Dragon deck profile. So I'm really excited this week guys, because this deck plays one of the most nostalgic monsters in the entire game, and one of the coolest Xyz monsters ever printed are Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, which is a crazy powerful Xyz monster that basically burns your opponent for 500 every single time they activate an effect, which we turbo 3 of them to our side of the field in a single turn, which is crazy awesome for this deck. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell next to become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name scripture in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month your patron, along with test hands. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Red Eyes Black Dragon. This card is a crazy awesome nostalgic monster that basically is the heart and soul of this deck. I love this card in this deck, and I love Red Eyes Black Dragon. It's my favorite of the original 3 ace monsters between Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and Dark Magician. And definitely comment down below which one is your favorite between Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and Dark Magician. We then play a single copy of the Ultimate Wizard in terms of attack and defense, which is a single copy of Dark Magician, which is a crazy awesome card in this deck to help you go into your copy of Dragoon, which is an amazing boss monster in this build, comboed with your copy of your Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. We then play a single copy of Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon. Black Flare Dragon is basically an additional Red Eyes Black Dragon because it has the ability that you can Gemini summon this card to your side of the field, which is basically normal summoning at an additional time, and it gains the ability that if this card is involved in a damage calculation, at the end of the battle phase, you inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of this monster, which is always going to be 2400, which is a lot of attack points to be able to inflict to your opponent directly, especially when you're comboing with your Flare Metals. We then play a single copy of Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon. This card is a great card in this build as well because it's easy to special summon, because it has the ability that can be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned by your hand by attributing any Red Eyes monster that you have in your hand or on your field. And it also has the ability, if this card is destroyed by an opponent's card effect or by battle, then you can target a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in the graveyard and special summon it back to your side of the field. And if it was a Red Eyes Black Dragon you special summon with this card's effect, it doubles the attack to 4800, which is crazy cool. We then play 3 copies of the Tenyi Spirit Bushido. This card is really great to special summon to your side of the field, but you can special summon this card to your side of the field if you don't control an effect monster, which is really nice in this deck because you're focused around summoning normal monsters first for your combo pieces. It's also level 7, so it makes it super easy to go into your Flare Metal, and it also has the ability that if you control a face-up non-effect monster, you can manage this card from your hand or graveyard to target a card your opponent controls and return it to the hand, which is a great effect to basically give you an additional compulse in this build. We then play 3 copies of Noctovision Dragon. Noctovision Dragon is a great free special summon because it has the ability that if a Dark Dragon monster is special summoned from your, or special summoned to your field, then you can special summon this card from your hand as well, which is a great effect to give you an additional level 7 in this deck to be able to special summon like that. We then play 3 copies of Black Metal Dragon. Black Metal Dragon has the ability that you can, if this card is sent to the graveyard from the field, then you can add a Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand, which helps out the deck a lot to get literally any of your Red Eyes cards that you need from the deck and help you go into the rest of your plays. If this card is in your hand, you can also have the ability to target a Red Eyes monster you control and equip this card from your hand or your field to that target, and it gains 600 attack, which boosts it up all the way up to a Blue Eyes if you equip it onto a Red Eyes Black Dragon, boosting it up to 3000. We then play 2 copies of the Black Stone of Legend. The Black Stone of Legend basically gives you a free Red Eyes on your side of the field because it has the ability to tribute this card. You get to special summon out a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck, which is a really awesome effect to give you an additional Red Eyes or a copy of Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon. It also has the ability that if this card is in the graveyard, you can target a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in your graveyard, except another copy of itself, or excuse me, except a copy of Red Eyes B-Chick, and shuffle it into the deck. And if you add this card to your hand, but you can only use either or of this card's effects per turn. You can't use both effects. We then play 3 copies of Danger Nessie, which just went to 3 on the list, and this card is super good in this deck because it is a level 7 that's pretty easy to summon to your side of the field, so you can go into your copies of Flare Metal. It has the ability to reveal this card in your hand, and your opponent randomly chooses 1 card in your hand, and then you can discard, you'd have to discard the chosen card. Then if the discarded card was not Danger Nessie, you can special summon a Danger Nessie from your hand, and if you do that, that, draw a card. But if this card is the card that's discarded, then you can add a danger card from your deck to your hand, which is the card we're actually going to be searching from the deck is going to be our other level 7 danger monster, which is our Danger Dogman. Danger Dogman is great to summon in this deck as well, because this card has the exact same effect as Nessie that you reveal in your hand. Your opponent randomly chooses a card. If they don't target Danger Dogman in the hand to discard, then you could special summon him to your side of the field and draw a card. But if they do pick Danger Dogman in your hand, then all monsters your opponent controls lose 1,000 attack, and this card is sent to the graveyard. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is great in the deck because it helps us get our level 7s on the field as quickly as possible so we can go into more copies of Flare Metal. So this card is a great one of in the build. We played 2 copies of Red Eyes Fusion. This card helps us go into our Red Eyes Fusion monsters, which is super helpful in this particular build. It has the ability to fusion summon a fusion monster that lists a Red Eyes monster as materials from the extra, using monsters from your hand or deck or your side of the field as fusion materials, and if you do, its name becomes Red Eyes Black Dragon. And you can't normal summon or special summon monsters other than that monster for the rest of the turn, which you can still set, which is the only downside of this card, that basically when you choose to activate this card, it is usually going to be the only monster you're going to summon for the rest of the turn. We then play a single copy of Magicalized Fusion. Magicalized Fusion is great in this deck because you can banish a copy of Dark Magician and a copy of your Red Eyes Black Dragon from the graveyard to summon out your copy of your Dragoons, or second copy of Dragoons in this particular build. We then play 2 copies of Piercing the Darkness. I thought this card would really fit in the deck because it has the ability that if you normal or special summon a non-token normal monster, then you get to draw a card, which helps you get into more of your combo pieces in the deck. And when an attack is declared involving an opponent's monster and a monster you control that is a level 5 or higher normal monster or was ritual, fusion, synchro, or Xyz summoned using a normal monster as a material, you can make that monster that you control gain attack equal to the opponent's monster's attack, basically turning them into an honest, which is crazy powerful in this deck because you're going to be using Red Eyes to summon everything, which is really amazing for this particular build. We then play 3 copies of Red Eyes Insight. Red Eyes Insight is a searcher in the deck, which you're going to be using your Black Metal Dragon to get to, which has the ability that you can send a Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and then add a Red Eyes Spell or Trap from your deck to your hand, which can be your copies of your Red Eyes Fusion or any of the Red Eyes Trap cards that we're playing in this build. We then play 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. This card helps us dig through the deck because the majority of the stuff that we're playing is dark, so this card is really, really good in this build to help you dig through the deck to get to the exact combo pieces you need. And for the last 3 spells, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Return of the Dragon Lords because this card can target a level 7 or 8 dragon monster in the graveyard and special summon it. And if a dragon type monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead, which is pretty powerful in this deck to be able to protect your Red Eyes with this card. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to be playing just 3 traps, and it's going to be a single copy of Red Eyes Fang and Chain. This card is a pretty neat card that's a kind of a reworked version of Kunai with Chain. It has the ability that you get to target a Red Eyes monster that you control and equip it to that, or equip this card to it. It can make a second attack on monsters during each battle phase, and you can also send this card to the graveyard and then target an equipped monster on the, or target a monster on the field and equip that target to a monster this card was equipped to. And while the monster is equipped to that monster by this effect, it gains attack defense equal to the original attack and defense of that monster, making it the same exact attack points, which is the really interesting thing, that it does make it the same exact attack points as the monster equipped. So for example, if your opponent controls an Eldritch the Golden Lord and you have a Red Eyes, you can basically send this card to the graveyard while it's equipped to a Red Eyes monster and equip that Golden Lord to your Red Eyes, and its attack and defense becomes the same as that Golden Lord, which is super helpful. We then play a single copy of the Red Eyes Spirit. Red Eyes Spirit is basically a trap version of a Monster Reborn that's also searchable because it lets you target a Red Eyes monster in the graveyard and special summon it back to your field. And then a single copy of Return of the Red Eyes. This card has a really neat effect that if you control a Red Eyes monster except a copy of Red Eyes B-Chick, then you can target a normal monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And if this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, then you can target a Red Eyes monster in the graveyard except another copy of itself, or another copy of Red Eyes B-Chick and special summon it, which is a great effect just to be able to constantly be special summoning Red Eyes because this card is a once per turn effect. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. This card is a crazy powerful boss monster and is the entire focus of the deck. This card has the ability that it cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has XZ materials. And while this card has XZ materials, each time your opponent activates a card effect, they breathe, they look at you funny, they take 500 points of damage immediately after that resolves, which is really interesting because when you summon out one copy of Flare Metal, they're going to be taking 500. When you summon out two, it's going to be 1,000. If you summon out three, it's 1,500. And if you look at that in the terms of effects, if you have one on the field, they can activate 16 effects. If you have two on the field, it's going to be 8 effects, which is crazy, crazy good in this deck. And if you summon out other cards that can burn your opponent or you do any sort of life point damage, the number goes down of the effects that they're actually going to be activating. We then play a single copy of the Darkest Dragon Doom Rider. This card is here because it's a great rank 7 and has the ability that you can once per turn detach 2 materials from this card and then target one face-up card on the field and destroy it. And if you destroyed a monster, you can make one monster that you control gain attack equal to destroyed monster's original level or rank times 300 until the end of the next turn. And this card can't attack the turn you activate this effect. And this is a quick effect if it has a dragon monster as a material, which we are playing Red Eyes, so this card will usually have its dragon monster as a material. We then play a single copy of Big Eye because it can take opponents' monsters, which is pretty good. We play a single copy of AA Zeus because you can make AA Zeus very easily to board wipe in this particular build. So AA Zeus is a great boss monster as well, just to be able to throw on the field and board wipe the opponent. We then play 2 copies of Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. Dragoon is a crazy powerful boss monster that has the ability that basically it can be targeted destroyed by card effects and neither player can target it at all. And then when your opponent activates a card, you can discard a card to negate that card's activation, and this card gains 1,000 attack points. And if you do that, you're also going to have the ability that for every normal monster you put into this card, you can pop a monster on your opponent's side of the field and then inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack points, which is going to be, or the attack points it had on the field, which is an insane effect for this card to have, especially in combo with your Flare Metals. We then play a single copy of Draco Masters of the Tenyi. I love this card in this build because it has the ability that can't be destroyed battle with an effect monster, and if you control no other effect monsters, you can destroy effect monster your opponent controls up to the number of non-effect monsters that you control or in your graveyard, which we play 4 non-effect monsters in this deck, which is our 3 copies of Red Eyes and our 1 copy of Dark Magician. We play a single copy of Nightmare Unicorn to spin stuff, Phoenix to pop spells and traps, IB Masquerading because we can link summon during our opponent's turn, Verte Anaconda because it works well with our Magical Eyes Fusion, and Red Eyes Fusion, which is super helpful in this deck. 1 copy of the Heretic Heavenly Spheres. This card is really easy to summon in this deck and has the ability to, once per turn, if this card is in the extra monster zone, then you can quick effect tribute 1 monster from your hand or field and return 1 face-up card on the field of the hand. And if this card is tributed, you can special summon a dragon monster in your hand or deck, but make its attack defense 0, which is pretty good in this build because basically you're going to be able to use this card to be able to bounce your opponent's cards and then bring a Red Eyes from the deck. And then finally, a Link Rebo because you can use this card with your Black Metal Dragon to be able to link it away so you can get a search and get a Link Rebo to protect you from attacks. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. It's a really amazing deck. I hope that you guys give Red Eyes a try because this deck is a super awesome build, especially being able to summon out your copies of your Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon and being able to summon 3 of them in a single turn is absolutely insane. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.